found this truck camper for free on want ads, and it's got a bunch of materials in it that I hope I can use for the bus. So take a look and see what we can be repurposed and put in that rig, which is really not as fun as that rig, I don't think. All right, the biggest thing I wanted was this fridge. Propane would tend to be a little pricey, so I'm a little nervous to see kind of what's in there, but let's take a look. Socks. Looks like it's pretty decent shape though. Alright, sweet. We've got this gas stove here, 2-burner gas stove. And we've got this little furnace here. And pretty excited actually about this Traveler fridge here, the RV fridges. They're not cheap. So we're going to fire each one of these up, hopefully, and see how they work. If they work. Alright, turn on the gas valve. Do it slowly so it doesn't stop up the valve, I guess. So that is, and then here, gas, that's good. Hooray! Stove works. Shut the gas back off. Let's give this furnace a shot. Alright, we got the gas hooked up, so let's see. This looks like pilot light here. That up. Says push this to pilot. I see a pilot light in there, that's good. Let's see. Push control valve, hold until pilot remains lit, approximately 45 seconds. Must be a thermocoupler in there to make sure it's got to warm up, make sure the gas is getting burned. Yep, staying lit, so I can turn this to on. Whew. High. Close the pilot light back up. And we got heat. Awesome. Of course, I got some exhaust there. I haven't got hooked up, so I probably shouldn't let this burn too long. So actually a lot of heat coming out of there. Too bad we couldn't repurpose that somehow. But all right, so let's turn this off. All right, 2 out of 3. Pretty psyched about that. So got the fridge next. The good news is I know the fridge works to some degree. They say that it takes a long time. The absorption fridges take a long time to cool down. So I plugged it in last night and put a thing of ice in the freezer and had ice. So that's the good news. What I don't know yet is if it's gonna actually fire up on propane, and that's kind of why I'm saving it for the last. It's kind of the most important one I'm thinking of, where I'm gonna be. I think a lot of places I'm not gonna have power, I'm gonna need the propane part of it. So let's see if we can get it fired up. All right, so here are the controls here. Okay, so it says turn electricity off. Okay, that's off. And it says turn to coldest setting. Did that. Now push in. Wait, where'd my directions go? Alright, I'm supposed to push in this valve and turn it slowly till it clicks. Must be the igniter. And then check for a blue flame in the window. Hold it down a little bit, it says. Got a new blue flame. Alright, again. Still no blue flame. Try it one more time. Still no blue flame. All right. Gonna have to ask Google. Okay. After some extensive research on propane fridges, this is what I have found, and this is what we're gonna try. Gas comes into here, goes over this valve. This valve is some ways controlled by the switch in the front, and also this thermal coupling, which goes over here. When you first light it, this is the burner that should get lit, and right beside it, right, you can see it. You can see it wiggling right there, is the thermal coupling, and that senses heat and controls the circuit. As long as the flame is going, it sends a signal back to here, which opens that valve and lets gas continue to go through to the burner. So we have a couple different things going on here. Either this is dirty and it just won't light, or if it lights but doesn't stay lit, it's the thermal coupling. So I'm gonna take this off, clean it, and then soak it in alcohol, they say, for a while, and put it back in and see what happens. Okay, here's the burner. When I took that off and dumped it upside down, about a teaspoon of rust powder came out of there. So that was pretty indicative of being dirty. So then I soaked it in alcohol for about an hour, and now we're back. I'm going to put everything together and see what happens. Alright, so I understand that these thermal couplings are actually a common failure point. So while my burner is soaking and cleaning, I might as well pull this off and test it anyway. So this is how you can do it with a multimeter. So thermocouplers work by having two different metals down here at the tip, usually lead and a copper, and they're welded together, but then they go through this tube. You get an inner part, copper, and an outer part. And when heat hits it, it sends a millivolt through here, and this millivolt hooks onto a solenoid in that gas valve and kicks it. It opens it or closes it. Actually holds it open. So what we can do is we can actually test to make sure that this, when it gets heated up at this end over here, is sending a signal to this end here. So I'm going to set it up my stove here. I'll lay that there. Got a multimeter. I'm going to set it to millivolts. So I got my red end on the copper, the black end on the tip. It kind of works its way down to, kind of jumps all over the place because millivolts, but goes down to about 0. But it's supposed to be reading about 26 millivolts in order for it to be good. So I'm going to turn the burner on. we go. Put this on, see what it goes to. Not tricky to hold it. 19, 20. Nope, losing me again. 22, 25, 26, 28, 60. I don't know, that's kind of weird. 26, 26.3, 26.3. Okay, so I'm getting 26 volts, so I'm going to assume that this is actually okay. All right, put everything back together and hopefully it works. Aha! Victory! That flame's nice and blue without any orange. That's good. I'll heat this stuff right up. Cool. So everything's still running pretty well, although I had taken a lot of these tubes apart to clean them out, and I did notice I got a couple flare-ups of gas here, so I went back through and put a gas putty on all of them. Keep them from leaking. It's been running a day, it hasn't been leaking. Use this stuff. It's made specifically for gas lines. Alright, cool. So we're the next day here. Let's double check our temperatures. .41 right there, it's pretty good. And 2. Awesome. So I'm pretty stoked. Free camper. We've got the furnace, got the stove, got a working refrigerator that works both on AC and on propane. So it's awesome. All right, so if any of you guys interested in this process, again, keep an eye out on the want ads, kind of be ready to jump at a moment's notice because stuff goes fast. But if you're fortunate, you can run across a deal like this and just run through a methodical process to make sure that you can get everything working correctly. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Still can't figure out what these socks are doing in the refrigerator.